Welcome back to Mason's ADV. Ride along with us as we explore off the beaten path, head out for some adventure bike camping, and keep you updated on modifications and new gear for adventure riding. Be sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any adventures. Glad to have you along for the ride. Well, hey guys, Mason here. I'm accompanied by DV from DV's Adventures. So today we're going to have a look at some soft luggage that Rocky Mountain sent through for me from their Tusk line. DV's going to run it here for a couple weeks and just give us some feedback on what he thinks of it, how well it works, whether it's going to work good for him as a commuter with the stuff that he takes back and forth to work, and then we're also going to take it on a trip and we'll load him all up with his gear and we'll head off for a weekend at some point and we'll try it out. Okay guys, so this is actually called the Tusk Highland X2 Rackless luggage system. We're going to start here by unboxing the actual bags themselves. I think there's a little bit of assembly here, so we'll have a look at this. So there's one leg side. Oh, little instruction booklet. One leg side, the top, and the other leg side. Complete with fasteners and instructions. So one of the things about this setup, now this is sight unseen because I haven't obviously put it together and tried it yet, but if you're on a budget, this may actually be a contender. That's why I'm kind of excited to see how this works for DV. There are other extremely similar offerings on the market. First of all, they're a lot more money, but you do get what you pay for to a certain extent. So having not even seen these yet, I'm intrigued to see how well they perform for something that's a fraction of the cost of the competitor. I mean, I'm showing this as MSRP of $499 to $727, depending on what you get for a pack out, I suppose, but it's on right now $379 to $504, and I mean at $504, that's pretty reasonable set of luggage. I mean, if you go up against anything, whether it's a soft luggage or a hard luggage, by the time you buy the racks and the boxes, I mean, you're right up there with an expensive, really good quality pair of or set of soft luggage, whether that's a soft pannier system. There's a lot of different manufacturers on the market. I mean, the elephant in the room is the fact that we run the Moscow Moto stuff, and it stood up really well, and it's absolutely perfect. But it should be, right? At the cost, it should be. So is that going to skew my view of these? Where, you know, because it's less expensive, am I going to let it get away with more? Maybe. I don't know that. But you do have to take cost into account for sure. And at, you know, a third of the cost of a good set of hard luggage or a good set of soft luggage, I do think this has a place for the average commuter and the average rider. But like I said, we haven't tried it yet. So let's get this bolted together and give it a test run and see how it makes out. All right. And we start right on the bike with this, with the old pivot test. So there obviously is some adjustment for angle. Pivot bag until it fits the bike best. There are 3 different mounting points. Place final bolt in the front hole, tighten all 3 bolts. Well, that seems easy enough. Now I'm not seeing the markings for what I would be wondering is left and right. Ooh, more goodies. Well, I'm wrong. There's your dry bags. I didn't think it came with any. Very cool. Maybe on the website. There we are.
The build quality feels great.
It does. Maybe that's something to discuss, because I'll tell you, my initial impression, just taking it out and handling it there a little bit, is it is a little bit more durable than I expected it to be. It certainly feels fantastic. So So you just drop that down and put this bolt in there, or castle nut, or there's a name for those. What are those called with the spikes? I forget. You got a set of channel locks.
Memory of my first bike, you know, you want to get that in there too, because that's you know,
Oh yeah,
a collector's item right there.
that's so awesome. I bet that's a regret, eh, selling that.
For sure. Harley McScooterson.
Harley McScooterson.
It's my wife thought it would be a good idea if I got a scooter to save gas money.
Right.
And I knew that if you get a scooter, you have to have a motorcycle license here.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, if I get a scooter, I'm one step closer to getting a motorcycle. I now have the license. So.
Absolutely, and it worked.
Yeah.
Here you are.
That was 2013.
On a beautiful Camel KLR 650.
And honestly, this bike is so much safer than that scooter.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Just putting these in without the washer just to draw that locking nut up in. I'll throw the washer on.
So that then determines the angle of the bags then? Is that
Well, see,
why
this one here has a slide.
Yeah.
So this is going to be able to slide on that one, and then this one we're going to figure out which one of those we like. So that's why it says to tighten the back one, which we'll do to both sides, and then we'll actually strap this on and we'll see where that wants to slide to.
I'll look after the coffee and sitting in this very comfortable Tusk chair.
It is, isn't it?
It is very comfortable.
It's become my shop chair over the winter, and now I think I'm going to have to order another one because I want one on the bike.
Oh, it's one that folds up small too?
Yeah, I just don't want to be without one here in the shop, so it is comfortable. I'm going to tell you a story, all right? So a year ago, not this past winter, but the winter before, and you know how crazy I got about my weights on my luggage?
Yep.
And I went through and I weighed everything. And once you get to a certain point, there's very few areas of your pack out where you can save pounds. It becomes that you're spending a lot of money for ounces and grams in weight reduction. So the one spot was that I was able to save some weight, I knew by looking at reviews, was my camp chair. But again, a big spend. So the camp chair that I ended up buying saved me exactly 1 pound off my pack out. It's a Helinox chair, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's super lightweight, like super lightweight. It's the lightest chair. I think it's the lightest camp chair you can buy. It looks identical to that Tusk one in shape and style. And so the story is, I bought this last year on the trip. I took this with me. The first night, I melted a hole in my $150 camp chair, or whatever it is I paid for it. And over the course of the next week, every time someone else got up around a campfire, I would go sit in theirs, because this one's spongy and soft, it's really low, and you get in one of these, like a typical camp chair, and it's got support, it's comfortable, you're up high enough. So the joke became that the very expensive camp chair that saved me a pound is the one that nobody wanted to sit in. The only saving grace about this chair was because of the burn hole, there was a place to store your spoon. And that's the story about the Helinox camp chair that I really do not enjoy.
So from here on out, is what you're saying is that if other camp chairs all of a sudden have a specifically placed hole for a spoon?
Well, I'm telling you, it would be a selling feature. I think manufacturers need to take a close look at that. And I mean, as the week went on, anybody that walked past it that happened to have a spoon in close proximity, it went in there.
That's fair. Well, and if you have 2 spoons, that's where you can store your instrument.
The easy and obvious way is you just flip it over, line up all 3 once you know where they go, and drive them in with a hammer. But for some reason, that feels weird to do.
I do see most bikes now, I'd say, are leaning to soft, right?
A lot of the ADV riders are leaning towards soft. It's less of a risk. If you're on a narrow trail and you catch a hard box on a tree, it can flick you around pretty hard. Plus it can damage the box. And then the other less likely but plausible thing that can happen is if you're dabbing your foot in sand or something like that, for example, and your foot gets stuck into the ground as the bike's moving forward, you can take the back of those hard boxes in your calf. And I seem to recall hearing of injuries from that. I don't know statistically. I think it's rare. But the soft bags, for example, when I had my crash on Manitoulin Island and I had my soft luggage on, that bag my ankle was completely inverted, and that bag was on the back of my calf, and it hurt a lot, and I don't want to know what the end result of that would have been if I had had hard bags on, pannier boxes. I think it could have been a completely different outcome, and likely not the outcome I would like. You've got front straps here, a center strap we're going to undo. We've got 3 straps here. That's self-explanatory. Nice strap keepers. The center one we're not going to be able to use, so we're going to run you with the 2. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so here's how we're going to set this one up. This is a little bit Mickey, but it's going to give it some stability. So we're going to run each of those down through the side handles. We're going to take this one up and over to this side. It's going to put a bit of stress on this buckle. We'll see how this all works out, but we're going to take this one over here. And the center one's not required, and we'll just zip it up nice and neat. Good. So this one will pull back through. Strikes me as being backwards. I would want that cam buckle at the front. Let's have a look at that. It's a bar. So let's push this back out and flip that over. Oh, isn't that slick? That actually is pretty slick. It's just a captive piece of aluminum. Push that back in, feed that through, pull it down, and now that cam buckle's facing the right way. Nice. Around the rear foot peg, through from the back. Cinch it down and use the strap keepers. Tidy it up. Nice. So we're ahead of this, so he doesn't need the heat shield on. We're going to inflate a side bag here.
Does it look like a king-size air mattress will fit in there?
It looks like this is a king-size air mattress. Very sharp. Okay. Well, first impressions are pretty darn good. Clip, clip. Something pretty simple. Not entirely sure what these are. We're going to have a look into that. Okay guys, so I just made a minor adjustment. I've just taken this bolt up to the second hole, and that lowered this front a little bit. I don't want to go to the third one. It would likely suck that down really nice, but I want this as much space in here as I can for the top bag for DV. The other thing that I figured out by watching the video on the Tusk website, on the Rocky Mountain ATV website rather, is how this strap works, and it runs down through this retainer, this keeper, through the buckle and back up. So when you go to get your soft bags out, you just undo that and pull this down a little bit. Bring your buckle up through, and then you're into your luggage. Same thing, you just pass it through and clip it. Clip this side down, and then you pull this up and clip it in here, and that's just an extra keeper for the top of that bag. Kind of interesting. Same thing with this one, up and clip. This is the center tie down that we're not using, and then we've got these three straps that go over the top bag, which in this case we're going to send them with the dry duffel bag 22 liter, the small one. Now this has Velcro, comes with Velcro on the bottom, and you can see the Velcro here, so it just kind of helps hold it when the straps go down over it. Inside there's instructions again, spare nylon webbing and clips, and I'm assuming that's so you can tie it to your bike if you don't have this rackless system on. More, and that's it. So this, it's the same idea. Roll it down, clip it together, line up your Velcro straps. They show it with the tie down towards the back of the bike. I don't think it really matters. You've got the center strap, comes over and clips. You pull it tight. There's a strap keeper here. If you want to use that, you can. Under this back flap there's also a zipper and some more webbing loops. But then this comes over and you get your two main buckles that hold this back tail up and onto the bike. So pretty simple installation, really straightforward. It's a really well built, or it certainly appears to be a really well built soft luggage system. It did come with the dry bags and the side holsters, which I didn't think it did at first. And this top bag can be exchanged out. This is the small. They do a medium, and I also have a large top roll duffel for when we go on camping trips or that sort of thing. Other than that, playing with the keepers a little bit, make sure everything's down tight. Side strap keepers are all in a good spot, work well. I don't know, pretty impressed actually. Right out the gate for something like between $400 and $600, depending on the way you build it up. I don't know, what do you think? It's actually, it seems to be really rugged. Certainly on build quality, and I guess time will tell.
How many liters are they?
The side bags say 22 each, and the top bag I believe said 22 as well. But yes, but I think, you know, that has a lot to do with how much you compress them, or and they're just puffed up with air right now. There's actually nothing in them, but yeah, wow. I think for the price, I think it's going to fit the bill for a lot of riders for sure. When I first looked at them, and I didn't realize that it came with dry bags inside the rear holsters, the side holsters, I was thinking that was a miss. And then to open that one and to find the two bags in there, that's actually changed my impression. It's pretty much ready to go. It ships, you put it together, which they have a great video of. I just watched it. Of course, I'd put this together already, but yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory, but there is a lot of videos on Rocky Mountain website if you need them. Yeah, it matches the bike well. Colors are great. I don't even mind the little orange blast. I think it looks sharp. Yeah, so you're going to run this for a couple weeks, and we're going to see what your input is. See if there's anything that bothers you or you like, or
The straps on there.
it does fold up, believe it or not.
Sorry, I like the chair too much.
Now, actually, speaking of which, there is also a tent pole bag. And this you would put your tent poles in and put behind this rear flap. There's tie downs to strap it into the center strap if you like. But that's a nice addition. I think that comes with one of the options when you purchase the kit. If not, it's certainly available separately. It does come with a heat shield, but because it's so far forward on DV's bike, that's not required right now. We'll see how that goes. If we find that anything in there is acting goofy, we'll put that on. But it also comes with the molly sticks and these pouches, which we're not going to get into today because this is just going to be a commuter setup. But there certainly is the option of putting these on the front or on the back as a secondary storage for first aid kit or whatever you need. So yeah, there it is. That is the Tusk Highland X2 Rackless luggage system. No racks required, which means when you take it completely off your bike is back to stock. You're not looking at those big side racks. A lot of soft luggage mounts to side racks, a lot of hard panniers mount to side racks, and a system like this, and there's a bunch. I know Endurostan does it too, Moscow Moto, likely the OG, but theirs is this design. Giant Loop has been doing a great big loop shape that unzips that you stuff your stuff in. They've been doing that for years. So the soft luggage this isn't new, but the price point certainly is right. And a huge thank you to Rocky Mountain for sending it over for us to have a look at. And we're going to put it through its paces, and I'll keep you guys posted on how this works and stands up. And we're not really hard on it anything, but we also don't baby it. So we'll see how this goes. Cool, guys. I hope that's informative and helpful to someone, especially if this is in your price point. And stay tuned. We'll keep you posted. On that note, I'll let you go. Thanks for watching. Mind how you go, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye now. Hey guys, if you liked that video, hit the thumbs up button for us. It goes a long way towards helping out the channel. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button in the upper corner for new videos every Sunday. Be glad to have you along for the ride.
Free